everyone, welcome back to our video series on the new digital SAT verbal section. Don't forget to follow us and what you'd like to see. All right, so for today we have a words and context question. Remember, for these questions, it's most important to try and form some sort of prediction about what word would go in the blank, just based on your understanding of the passage before you even look at your answer choices, okay? This just ensures that you're not kind of influenced by the options in front of you. Sometimes we like to project meaning that isn't really there in the passage based on the answers in front of us. So we really just want to try and make sure we understand the passage well enough first to form some sort of prediction about what should go in there, and then we can look at our choices and kind of best find the answer that best matches what our prediction was. Right, so some scientists have suggested that mammals in the Mesozoic era were not a very blank group, but this paleontologist research suggests that early mammals living in the shadow of dinosaurs weren't all ground-dwelling insectivores. Fossils of various plant-eating mammals have been found in China, including in this species, which Luo says could glide like a flying squirrel. All right, so the part that we have at the beginning of the blank is that mammals in this Mesozoic era were not a very blank group, so something about the group. And then we have a contrast with the word but, so that's going to be important here. We want to note that. So the Luo's research suggests that the early mammals living in the shadow of dinosaurs weren't all ground-dwelling insectivores. So I think ground-dwelling is going to be an important term here if I want to pick something else out. So then I feel like we should be looking for something along the lines of, so also the term insectivores, I think, too. So they're not just going to be species that lived on the ground and only ate insects. So we have some sort of contrast here. And then we have the fossils of the various plant-eating mammals. And then there's the example of this one species that could glide like a flying squirrel. So we have kind of a lot of contrast going on here. Contrast, but also kind of variation. Like I would say, they're kind of getting at, maybe all the mammals are somewhat the same, but they do have some differences. So yeah, I would say the word that I would put in the blank here would be like not a very varied group, essentially. So essentially saying that a lot of the species were very similar, but not necessarily that they're all exactly the same. So they point out some different examples of how they were somewhat different. So yeah, something about not a lot of variation. So looking at our options here, I would go with option C, diverse. So again, thinking about that, not a lot of variation, diverse means that, not very diverse. So that's what would fit with our context here based on our prediction. Double checking with the rest of our choices, predatory, obscure, localized. There's nothing in the passage based on the clues that we picked up that really suggests any of those answers. So C will definitely be the best choice. All right, follow us for more.